Good morning and welcome to Michigan Farm and Garden. I'm Jody Pock Newsom and I'm your host. We have a great show for you. We were out at the Michigan Great Lakes International at Michigan State University and we have a lot of great interviews and a lot of great segments. Stay tuned. Good morning, and again, welcome to Michigan Farm and Garden. I want to thank all of you that were out there to the Michigan Great Lakes International and came up and said hello, and I learned a little bit more about what we were doing. A great opportunity to get out there and learn more and experience the great draft horse industry with our state. The show this week and also next week were both, the interview segments were shot at MGLI. So lots of great information. We talked with Aaron Rice about the event. We're going to talk with the judge about what they look for. We're also going to talk about some of the other industries as far as harness making, some of the publications, some of the communications, and we're going to talk with the folks who have those gorgeous horses who are actually out there showing, looking at the sales. We're going to talk about mules so you can find out what a mule is. Lots of great information when we look at the show this week and we look at next week. Folks, it is going to be a great show. We'll be back with the first guest right after the Michigan Farm and Garden Fact of the Week.
It's time for the Michigan Farm and Garden Fact of the Week.
The Michigan Great Lakes International Draft Horse Show is the second largest convention or trade show in the Tri-County area, with 33,000 spectators and participants from 33 states, 3 Canadian provinces, Scotland, and England, making it truly an international event. MGLI has a local economic impact of over $1 million. For more information or next year's dates, go to mgli.org. Welcome to Michigan Great Lakes International. Here we are again with Aaron Rice, President. Aaron, it's great to be here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad you're here, Jody. What a great event we've got going. 37 years of Michigan Great Lakes International, from Detroit down to Lansing now. What a great show we've got going. We had extra horses come in this year from all over. We've got about 869 draft horses here, about 2,000 pounds apiece. There's a lot going on down here this week. In the background, you're seeing the Percher and Unicorn class, tough class. It's a real good bunch. Geldings. We've got shows starting at 8 o'clock in the morning with halter. Noon we'll pick up into hitches like what you see in the background from 2, 4, 6. Saturday night we'll go into the 8-horse hitch, unicorn hitch, packed event. As you can see, the crowd is large. It's really growing in here today, and we're just so pleased with the whole show, and we thank our committee for doing such a great job. So.
Well, and Aaron, you and the committee do a wonderful job, and you have all the different breeds and the mules. I mean, everything is here.
Oh, and Percherons, Clydes, Belgians, mules, just all you'd want to see in the draft industry. They came from everywhere this year. We've got a group from Oregon. We've got people from Texas. We've got 3 provinces in Canada represented here. 26 states here, so it's a real show. Excellent quality this year. The classes are full. We're having a lot of split classes, so I think it's one of the better shows we've had in a while. The economy's starting to let up a little bit. The horse thing, you know, a little slow for a while during the recession, but breeders are back at it. The people are showing, and so we're out again going, and it's great.
Well, and one of the things, you know, I always tell folks, it's such a family atmosphere, so much to see, so much to do, and really the message I keep hearing this year is people get involved, get excited. You don't have to start with a 6-horse hitch. You can start with 1 or 2 horses.
Yeah, you know, just 1 horse in the cart class, and then pair. You know, when I went to my wife, I said, I want 1 great old draft horse. Well, I bought a mare, and then we bought 2 mares, and now we've got 30 mares. But that doesn't have to be that way for everybody. We've been showing for about 25 years, and we just have loved it. We've bred our own horses, and it's been a great. The family part is what it's about. This is a family affair. This is one of the most American ag events that you'll see. It's Americana at its best. That's what it is. And strollers around here, we've got twins in strollers, we've got kids in strollers, and young families and elder families, and it's just a great day.
Well, and I think too, I mean, we're going to talk and we're going to do a couple shows from here, but just the diversity of all the other industries that are all related to the draft horses.
Correct, and then, you know, all the industry it takes to make this all happen. Plowing is going on. I mean, if you're interested in farm activities, we have plowing, we have an obstacle course. We're going to have a special Leon obstacle course on Sunday, so it's just something for everybody here.
And everybody can do the chicken dance, so there we go.
We've got great vendors, you know, and we've got great food here at the pavilion. What a great place, you know, indoors. It can rain all day and all night, and you can still enjoy yourself. And these people here to have a good time, good music, a lot of fun. So.
Well, and the weather you guys have ordered this year is wonderful.
We had a rough day yesterday. It rained on our exhibitors. We brought them down through the south gate and tried to keep the rain off them, but we had a great show last night. We're heading into Saturday night. Friday night, Jamie Colbert Adams is coming from the MDA, director of MDA will be down, and Saturday we're going to be honoring some special guests. So it's going to be a great weekend. We've got a couple of special awards coming to people that have been here for over 30 years. So.
Well, and too, I mean, one of the things I know are the poles as well. Oh. You guys have some amazing horse poles and amazing athletic horses.
Last night, the barefoot barnyard pole, 10,128 pounds is what they pulled.
And barefoot means?
No shoes, I'm sorry, no shoes, okay. Barefoot. Tonight, the lightweights at 7 o'clock. They'll go on till about 10 or 10:30. Tomorrow night, the heavyweights, Saturday night, heavyweights. You don't want to miss any of that. That's great. It's really great.
Well, and I think for people, too, that have not got to see the horses as athletes, I mean, they don't pull that far, but just to watch them pull, you can really see the muscles and how well they're conditioned.
Oh, and we've got such great caretakers for these animals. They do a wonderful job. Just wonderful flesh, wonderfully trained, and they just pull. I mean, it's exciting to see what they can do. So I hope that everybody can get out, and this is great for our community. Come down and see this. We're a large event. We're the second largest one here at the pavilion, and we have a great economic impact on the Tri-County area. So please come.
Well, and I think a growing show every year. You mentioned all the exhibitors. Your numbers are up even from last year.
Yeah, and our fame is growing. I'm sorry.
It is.
Humbly, I say that. And so we're real pleased, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, we appreciate it. As always, I love to be part of this. Folks,
we love to have you here.
It is awesome. This week and next week, the shows will be coming to you from Michigan Great Lakes International. Make sure you're settled in. We're going to have a great show this morning, and we'll be back with our next guest right after this break.
The Cherry Marketing Institute wants you to know about tart cherries. Cherry's red color comes from powerful antioxidants. Available year-round, it's easy to incorporate cherries into your daily diet. Visit choosecherries.com.
Michigan's 1,000 apple growers take pride in producing delicious apples from one generation to the next. From the Great Lakes come great flavors. Look for locally grown Michigan apples.
Have Jody speak at your next agricultural event. Go to jodylive.com.
And welcome back. Here we are with Sharon Prevey. Sharon, welcome. It's good to have you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here today.
Well, and you have a long history with the draft horses. I'm going to have you tell us a little bit about that history and then a little bit about what you guys do, and then we'll talk about you being a judge.
Okay. I have been in horses since I was 4 years old. And 32 years ago, my husband and I decided we wanted to go from light horses to draft horses. So we got into the Clydesdale industry, and our very first horse was the first embryo transfer in the United States.
Oh, wow.
Her name was Abracadabra, and she was the beginning of a huge love affair. Well, as I got older and it got a little harder to lug all the stuff around, I began judging horse shows, and I like the judging. I like being able to talk to the people, especially young people, because they're the up-and-coming future for us. All of them are. I highly recommend draft horses for all children, and truly the gentle giants, the Clydes, are certainly my favorite.
And beautiful. We have to add that too. They are absolutely beautiful.
One of the things when I'm judging, I really like to look at tradition. And I think it's important. I think it's the foundation. One of the things I look for in, we'll just take a lady driver in a vehicle such as this, which is called a cart.
Okay.
And it's dedicated to one horse, 2, occasionally 3, all in a row, straight out front, not side by side. But I like to see the drivers dressed appropriately when they come into the show ring. It presents themselves better. It is respectful. It just gives that certain amount of savoir-faire to bring it up a notch. Ladies, I personally think should have a hat and gloves and a dress if possible. Not always possible for a lady to wear a dress, and I do understand if a very nice pantsuit occasionally is appropriate. Gloves are very, very important, and always a short whip like this in hand for cart horses. Not to be used only in an emergency, but it gives a better presentation of the handling of the lines when they're driving and the ability to have this if they need it. Very likely you will never need it, but again, it's tradition. Men I like to see dressed in suit coat, good dress pants, a tie, a hat, gloves, and of course, the whip. Now, when they're on a hitch wagon, which is multiple horses side by side, 2 by 2 by 2 generally, again, it's just as important for tradition. They will have a longer whip, and if they don't have a whip, I find it appropriate because you don't use it, but it's tradition. I mean, it's not to be used arbitrarily. We don't do that to our animals. I think women look so much better dressed with a nice smile on their face, having a good time, as if they're going to town for tea. So
That was a great way to put it, because as I've seen the classes now, and everyone has such great posture, and it's beautiful from the animal to the car all the way up.
it's all part of the big picture. You're driving a very beautiful animal. You're a lady that's going to meet her friends. And of course, you want to be the finest lady when you go to meet your friends. So I think men are the same thing. They're going to the gentleman's club, and no gentleman wants to go without the proper attire.
Well, and certainly when we look at the history of that, I just think, when we know the industry has been around so long, and there's such a long, strong history. I think it's great to see how that's embraced, and that is staying true today.
Oh, I think it's incredibly important. Our young people, as I said before, are going to be our foundation, and they will only learn from what they see out in that show ring. No Levi's, no just any kind of shirt. You were there that day to present your horse and yourself the very best you can for that judge.
Well, and that so makes sense, and we're going to walk around and see them getting some of the horses ready, but even the time and the attention to detail and all that energy on the horses, it does make sense that carries through to the cart and to the folks that are showing and driving.
Oh, absolutely. It's presentation, presentation, presentation. Several old Scotsmen really drummed that into my head, that would be the most important thing I would ever do, that presentation. And it certainly carried us a long way.
Well, and Sharon, for folks that are out there, what would you kind of give them as some advice? You guys went from the other horses into the Clydesdales. What would you tell them?
I think that if you really want to get into a horse that can do everything, draft horses can do almost everything a light horse can do. They can jump, they can do dressage, they can drive, they can ride. We have always ridden all of ours, even before we put a harness on them. We rode them to teach them to stop, stand, back, behave. But
Kind of like kids.
Kind of like kids, exactly like kids. But yes, they'll do anything a light horse will do, and they are a huge enjoyment to the entire family can use them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been great. I appreciate it. Folks, certainly we know how important the industry is here in our state, but it's great to know what judges like Sharon Ford are looking for when they're out in the ring and looking to see what you need to do for this industry. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Welcome back to MGLI. We are here, and we're going to talk with David Backman. David, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I love being here.
It's good to have you here, and you work with Regal Publications, so we're going to have you tell us a little bit about that and kind of how that really works in outreaches with the industry.
Okay, Regal Publication is my company that I own that is over 20 years old. We market and campaign draft horses of all breeds. Recently, this last year, we formed the Regal Marketing Group, which is kind of the unofficial chamber of commerce of the draft horse industry. So what we're here for is not only the exhibitors, but also the spectators, and those spectators that maybe want to get interested into the draft horse industry.
Well, and I think that's so important because, there's so many of us, and I think every single one of us grew up with, I want a pony. So you always have that love and that interest in the horse industry, but being able to bring that together, I think that sounds like a fun job.
Yeah, and the other thing that I want to convey to people that come to watch these shows is not everybody has to own a 6-horse hitch. A lot of times when we have these shows, the announcer talks about the expense of a 6-horse hitch, and a couple may be sitting there and saying, wow, we could never ever do that. We could never afford that. Well, there's a lot more to the draft horse industry than these 6-horse hitches. Some people own these horses for pleasure. Some people maybe have a pair. Some people ride them. People can be involved in this industry at any level.
Well, and that's one neat thing, too, about what you do through Regal. You kind of have all those contacts and can really help people kind of put those pieces together.
Right. I want people to be able to come in this booth and ask questions. There's not a stupid question in my booth. If they want to know where to find products or horses or join an association, the Clydesdale Association of America and the Percheron Horse Association of America, they can sign up to be members for those right here. Both of those organizations also have phenomenal youth groups. And a great way for your children to be involved in a horse that their grandparents or great-grandparents were involved in.
Well, and I think that's so important because a lot of times as parents, we need to know just a little bit more than the kids, but a great opportunity really to get the kids involved in something to get them outside and keep them active.
Exactly, and a lot of people also don't realize that, they see these big horses at state fairs. They don't realize that these horses are shown all year round. I go from this event, I do about 18 events a year with this marketing group. We go to Dover, Ohio next. We'll probably go to the Denver Stock Show in January in Denver, Colorado. Next August, we go to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. These horses are used all year round and in many, many different ways. What really impresses me about the Michigan Great Lakes is this show is done by a group of people that are truly passionate about this breed and about these heavy horses, and it's done with no state funding. This show raises its money and puts on this event, and the spectators come to see an awesome show.
Well, and I guess as you look at that and use your travel across the U.S., this is kind of a unique show, and I think sometimes those of us in the area, we kind of take it for granted.
This is a very unique show. You guys have a pure jewel right here, and people come from all over the country and Canada to partake in this event, and the crowd here shows that they like to come and watch them.
Well, and I guess too, as you've been around and kind of seen some of the changes, what are some of the changes that you've seen through the industry?
Well, the industry for a long time got heavily saturated with big money people and big money hitches, and it really kind of pushed away the small family hitches for a while, and now what you're seeing is a lot more of the small family hitches coming back. And you're also seeing maybe 2 or 3 families teaming together and bringing out a hitch. And you're also seeing more people come with maybe a lady decides, I really like this and I want a ladies cart horse. And now she comes to a show with one cart horse. You didn't see that very many years ago. And you're seeing a lot more women as owners of these horses than you used to also see.
Well, and I guess too, as you kind of look ahead, what do you see as some of the opportunities or really the future?
Well, the opportunities in this breed, what I think is the strongest is any of these draft breeds are very much a pure breed and very much a sound horse. And the opportunities I see is people can get involved in a horse that has a history. A horse that has a very strong history, a very respectable history, and I keep going back to this, that you can be involved at any level, and everybody's treated the same. My booth, I have people in here that plow with these horses. I have people in here that I represent that ride these horses, hitch these horses, pull these horses. So I think we're a more diverse group than some of the other horse breeds.
Well, and I think, too, the opportunity is one thing I have to say about being here and walking around. It is such a family atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. I have 2 boys and a wife, and I can bring them to any of these draft events, and they're welcomed and they have fun. I also market in my other business a lot of saddle horses. It's not the same environment,
It really does make a difference, doesn't it?
It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference on the kind of experience you have with it. If you come to watch this show, you can then walk down into that barn and meet any of these exhibitors and have a conversation with them. That doesn't happen in a lot of other breeds of horses.
It does. We are very lucky, and we appreciate your time and appreciate you being on the show.
I appreciate you stopping by.
Folks, just again, we know how important the draft horse industry is. If you've not been out to MGLI, make sure you get it on your calendar for next year. Get here and experience all there is about our draft horse industry. Stay tuned. I'll be back right after this message.
This chicken is beak over claw for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one chicken may not be too much to cluck about, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing, our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Welcome back. Here we are at MGLI, and we are here with Margot Carson. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here. Yep.
And we're here with Brittany Frank. Brittany, good to have you here.
Thanks. Good to be here.
And who's, I guess, our big, tall, handsome one?
This is Rock.
Hello, Rock. You seem so... There we go. One of the things, too, we certainly know when we look at the draft horse industry, how widespread it is. And you guys travel a long way to be here to participate and exhibit.
Yep. We travel a long way. We've gone from Denver to Calgary Stampede and all around. It's just meeting all the different people and everything, and competing at all the different levels. So we thoroughly enjoy it. It's a lot of work, but we enjoy it, yeah.
Well, and Brittany, I know we just actually watched you in a class. Great job.
Thank you.
So for folks at home, if they've never done something like this, what is it that you need to do? I mean, we know you're dressed up. What do you have to do to be able to do the classes like that?
Well, the horses are driven at home most weekdays, and most of the training's done at home, and then when we get to the show, we wash them in the morning, let their legs dry and get them all clean, and then we have to roll their hair, so we put a little rope, cotton in their mane and roll that into their hair and put their tail up and put them nice and clean, and then put the harness on them and make sure that's all shiny, and then hook them up and go.
Well, and when you're doing something like that, what are you trying to do as you're driving them?
Keep them steady together, look like you're having fun, and it's not that much work. But
total uniform team.
There you go.
That's what, when she drove today and I was thumbs up, both of them were just totally in step, flashing with their ears forward, and she made it look easy.
She really did, because I was standing back there watching. I thought, God, I would love to do that someday.
Well, these guys couldn't really pull, and she said the last round, she said, my arms are dead. And James said, just hang on.
And I like that. You said, you just smile.
Yeah, just hang on and smile.
Well, and how long does it take, I mean, to learn to be able to do something like this?
Well, I've been doing it for almost 4 years now, helping out with the horses, so I still have a lot to learn, though.
Well, you did great. You did great. And Margaret, when we look at this, I mean, all the travels, where do you guys originate from that you ended up here in Michigan?
We're Listo, Canada, Ontario, Canada, and we've got a lot of good hitches there and a lot of good shows. We've just come away from Simcoe and Rockton, good Thanksgiving shows, and generally we don't come here because we're getting ready for a big draft horse sale next weekend, but it's a good show, it's very well set up, and we're pleased to be here, and we're really pleased with our hitch at the moment. So sometimes we've got to come down and say to the US guys, we're here, we're not just Canadian, we're here. So and we're working towards, I'm in the committee for the 2015 World Clydesdale Show, and it's coming to London, Ontario. So the more promotion we get with that, the better. And so we like to come out and see what's going on. So,
well, and I know too, I've heard about you guys and your horses, but I've also heard if you have horses to sell and there's an auction to go to, you want to go to Carson's.
Yeah, we always have horses to sell. We have two big draft horse sales, one in the spring and one in the fall. We've tried to promote the draft horse business with a small committee, and we do a draft horse futurity where this year they bring their foals, their weanlings, and sell them, and we microchip them and everything, and then they come back as 2-year-olds and compete. Totally well-broke 2-year-olds that will do a cart, will do an obstacle course, and will do a halter class. And this year they're going for 39,000. That will be spread amongst them all. Wow. The top one should be about 10,000, and it allows the average Joe, like with a 6-horse hitch, there's obviously a lot of money, like with the harness, the sixes, and the wagon. We really try to promote everybody can be involved. And the top places like Calgary Stampede, where it's 10,000 for a 6-horse hitch, this is 10,000 that somebody could win with a cart and one horse. And it's really taken off. So that will happen on Friday, and then we'll have the sale on the Saturday. So
wow, that's wonderful. And certainly folks have opportunities to come, to learn, to get involved.
Yep. And we video stream all our sales. That you just go on our website and you'll be able to, so next weekend from home you can click on and see what's going on. So if you're in any doubt what's happening and what prices horses are going for, we have an awful good set of horses coming next weekend, so cross fingers we do a good job.
That's awesome. They're very exciting, and I think a great opportunity for folks who don't get the opportunity to really be out and be with the horses to really see how that industry works.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
great.
Yeah. So, and it is worldwide. Like we get ones from Scotland that will phone and say, what's that horse doing? Or there are a lot of the ones from the States. So at the moment, this is a very busy show season. We're just about finishing. Ours will be at the Royal Winter Fair. It's about 2 weeks away, and then we're done for the year, which in a way, it's kind of nice. We've been working pretty hard, so.
We have that. You like things you enjoy, but when it's done, it's okay for a break.
At the start of the year, you're ready for it. You're saying, look, because everybody's a family, so, and everybody will help you and everything like that. But come this side of the year, you're like, we're ready, we're done.
Okay, well, Margot, thank you so much.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Brittany, great job. We appreciate you keeping Rock busy.
Thanks.
Folks, certainly we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Michigan Farm and Garden. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next weekend. Bye-bye.